Hey everybody, it's Anna. Time for the final card in this week's tarot story. So today we have the Ten of Swords. Yesterday was the Ten of Wands reverse. So these are both 10 cards, and 10 is connected to fulfillment or completion. Swords, though, are connected to the mind. They're about ideas and beliefs and mindsets. So this card represents the final transformation or fulfillment of the mind's journey. And you can see the guy is lying flat on his face with swords in his back. It is a moment of death and release. And in the tarot, of course, death is not a negative. It's just the final release point, the moment where everything shifts, everything is released so new things can begin. And that's depicted in the card as well. This guy is on a seashore. There's the water behind him. There's a sunrise saying the new day is dawning and it's on the other side of the sea. The sea represents intuition. So it's like the old way of being is released, and now we're going to get in a boat and sail off on into the horizon, the new day with intuition carrying us forward. So this is a moment of victory for the mind. It's a moment the mind's been working for, which is it's been trying to get itself more and more relaxed, more released. It's sort of met its challenges as you go through the swords trajectory. It's kind of had to let go of expectations and ideas. It's had to face its own fears and walk past its fears. And now it's at a point where it's finally let go of something that it thought at one point was valuable and necessary. Now it's letting go of that. And it's willing to kind of go into this place of uncertainty and the unknown. Because once you get on the sea, all bets are off as far as the known is. We are sailing into mystery. So the mind is being asked to move out of a place that it knows and setting sail into the unknown. And that's a challenge for the mind. It's a very significant challenge. It's probably the biggest challenge. We're asking the mind to move in faith. But if your mind's unable to move in faith, you get stymied on the spiritual journey. And that's what I think this whole tarot story has been about this week. We've had 3 Wands cards, the King and Queen reversed, and then the 10 of Wands reversed, which was yesterday. And I think the story has been, we have this passion, we have this inspiration, but our mind has decided the world is hostile and dangerous. And that is often the case for people who are intuitive. Because when we move into the world, when we're educated and we go into the business world or the systemic world we live in, we are asked to compromise who we are. We're told that's the right thing to do. We try to do that and we get exhausted. And we discover that it costs us our life energy to do that. And so we have to decide, do we just keep on trucking and compromising and kind of losing ground energetically? Or do we separate ourselves from the world, try to be true to our own vision, but do it in isolation because the world is hostile? So that creates a challenge for the mind. It has to figure out, do we fight for ourselves? Do we hide? Do we compromise? And basically that whatever path you choose from those choices is going to be bad for you. It's ultimately going to exhaust you and make you unfulfilled. So the mind has been pinballing back and forth between maybe these 3 options for a while. None of them are getting you where you want to go. They're not successful. So this moment is where the mind realizes that whole system has to be released. That it's not, do I fight? Do I hide? Do I compromise? Those are not the options. There must be another way forward. And the other way forward is the release of the idea that the world is hostile, that that is dangerous, that we have to somehow protect ourselves from the world. And instead, become ourselves all the way and let the world adapt to us. That is the shift of perspective that is represented by the 10 of Swords, I believe, in this trajectory. So the mind, which has been investing a lot of energy in this idea that the world is hostile, we're asking it to disinvest that energy from that idea and start investing in the idea and the understanding that the world's here to support us, the universe loves us, and that there are people around us who love us and want to support us as we pursue our passion. So I feel like this is a really interesting ending to this week's tarot story. So it's a good idea to look at, how is the mind feeling right now? Is it feeling ready? Is it feeling resistant? Is it feeling hopeful? Like what other supports can we give the mind as it goes through this really major transition? And as it sets sail in a boat that it's not even steering, it gets in a boat and lets intuition guide it somewhere. What can we do to be gentle and loving and supportive of the mind as it accomplishes this really huge goal of setting itself free from an old way of thinking. So that's our final card for this week's tarot story. See you next time. Bye.